But Drake Maye, not on the list. And I know you're in New England and you want to be worked up, and we all think Drake Maye is going to be good. We all think he's going to be good. No one on this show, no one involved with this show thinks Drake Maye is a bust, hates Drake Maye, anything. Various degrees of dude's a franchise quarterback, got the total package, leadership, he can talk to the media, he's got all the physical tools. But can any of us legitimately make an argument that he deserves to be on this list? Because I can't. I can't come up with one. With the year he had last year and the fact that if you're only going to have one or two rookie quarterbacks, like Jaden Daniels was the measuring stick with the year he had. C.J. Stroud, second year, wasn't as good as the first, but he's got 2 years under his belt in terms of under 25 quarterbacks. The resume just isn't there. He is still a guy who is living off potential, living off the eyeball test more than the analytical, statistical return on investment test. So, Fitzy, can you make an argument Drake Maye should be on this list? Please make an argument.
I would like to be able to make an argument about this, Andy, but I almost walked into my three-point stance earlier on the show saying, I wonder if we haven't hyped up Drake Maye too much to this point and should be mildly concerned about the fact that some people seem to not just be anointing him the next big thing and putting him in Canton already. You know, I think the Patriots Nation thinks this kid is just going to roll out of bed and sling 35 touchdowns, win 10, 11 games, and be a top 5 quarterback as, you know, Patrick Allen or Josh Mahomes this season, when in fact he has a long way to go. He started half of an NFL season. We saw the potential. That's what we're banking all of this on, potential. But we're not banking this on a full season. He's on his third offensive coordinator in 3 years. He's got brand new weapons behind him to the left and the right of him and a reformed offensive line. So much has changed around Drake Maye at this point. I don't know how you can just instantly say, oh, his talent will help elevate. He'll be the rising tide that raises all boats around him. His processing speed, this, that, the other. No, he still had 15 touchdowns and 10 picks last year. Like, we need to see a full season before we anoint him 25 under 25 worthy.
And it's a great point that so much of this is based on expectations. And, you know, you look at a guy like C.J. Stroud, who's a little bit of the cautionary tale, great first year, regression, second year, and yet he's already established. You know, this nugget we've been bouncing around that if you're going to be a franchise quarterback in the NFL, history shows within the first 2 years you make the playoffs. Well, C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels got that out of the way as rookies. So you're allowed to regress because you already have the trip to the playoffs under your belt. No one starts to question, are you really a franchise guy? And the book gets out on you. You've, you know, sort of had your successes. It's easier to talk yourself into that regression in year two. If you're Drake Maye, I think people are expecting Jaden Daniels. They're expecting C.J. Stroud. They're expecting, lead the way to the playoffs. Be part of the reason this team is good. And it makes me wonder, even with the reasons for positivity, which Peter Schrager sold probably a little harder than he should have, not actually working for the New England Patriots or in a PR role for Drake Maye himself, you have Josh McDaniels. Good with quarterbacks. Don't give me the Brady crap, good with quarterbacks. You have Mike Vrabel, proven head coach, stability. The organization is going in a better direction. You have, theoretically, a better offensive line. We'll get to that in a little bit. Maybe not as much better as some of us would hope it to be. You have arguably better talent at the wide receiver position, although it'll be interesting to see how that all comes together and plays out. But what does Drake Maye need to do for this to be a good year? Is it simply make the playoffs? Because we had numbers, I think, Dan Ball, you posed them last week where you threw out some numbers. And Fitzy, you were like, not good enough. And I was like, well, if he goes to the playoff with those numbers, they're good enough. Because I think that is the measuring stick for him this year. Now, obviously, he can't be, upside down, 5 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and somehow they sneak into the playoffs. But what is the number or metric or goal that he needs to reach as a second-year quarterback for people to say, yep, he is one of the best players under the age of 25. He is a true franchise quarterback, Fitzy.
So I had Shime on Six Rings and Football Things a couple of days ago because he spun a very, I know, it was a huge get. It was a huge, he was even
It's so huge, I feel the need to say his name is Chris Shime. He's a producer on The Morning Show with Greg Hill, and he's also a bit of a savant with football.
Thank you very much for qualifying that. I would imagine there would be some vertical integration and knowledge of Shime Time. But anyway, I wanted to have him on the podcast because a couple days prior, Andy, he said, not in accordance with you, or did he take snake you on the lower than expected stats for Drake Maye, but rather just like you should have modest expectations for Drake Maye this season. He believes as well that somewhere between that Mac Jones rookie season and maybe what Jaden Daniels did last year for the Commanders lies the truth of what you should expect for Drake Maye this season. They're going to run the ball more. There's obviously the previously mentioned question marks that we have all over the offense as well to consider, but they're going to be a run-first team. 24 touchdowns, 10 picks, 700 yards rushing with a handful of touchdowns. That's what you should hope for. That should be the, hey, this guy got it. He cut down on the turnover rate. He ran for more yards. The team won more games than they lost, and we see nothing but growth and progress. It's tough for Pats fans, I believe, who have huge expectations right now to recalibrate them this far before training camp, because you know what they're going to get, Andy, starting in a few weeks. At Patriots is just going to start sending deep ball porn and, whoa, look at the wheel route to Travion Henderson. Kyle Williams is cooking, blah, blah, blah. No. Guys, you can't expect the moon from him. I think people that say, because this is an off-quoted stat on this afternoon program as well as it was on the Six Rings postgame show. Yes, Peyton Manning led the league in picks, then came back the next year and led the league in touchdown passes. That's Peyton Manning. If we're going to start comparing Drake Maye to Peyton Manning beyond the hope for a turnaround this season, then we're out of our minds and we need a sobriety check.
Yeah, no, that would be silly. We compare him to Tom Brady. Why would we compare him to Peyton Manning?
That's good.
We keep it reasonable.
We keep it reasonable. We keep it to somebody
who's 2008 Matt Castle, like you pointed out when we did the stat breakdown last week.
Well, the thing that sneaks up on me is, and it's something I actually asked about the Gerard Mayo era or error, however you want to say it here in New England.
The latter is fine.
Was it year one of the rebuild when Mayo took over because it was post Belichick and you moved on, or was it like year 5 because Bill had kind of been trying to rebuild forever and it didn't work? I ask the same question when we're assessing Drake Maye. Is it year 1 assessing Drake Maye? Because really you kind of just throw out, like they did, literally the organization threw out basically everything on offense a year ago. They got rid of Gerard Mayo. They got rid of Alex Van Pelt. I don't think Alex Van Pelt is getting a lot of job offers to come be an offensive coordinator and install his system in a lot of places. So it's almost a true reset where you have to say, this is kind of year 1 for Drake Maye with a real head coach and a real offensive coordinator and a real scheme and real everything structured around him. I don't think fans are going to look at it that way. I actually think Drake Maye is going to be held to a really high standard. Fitzy, I look forward to and/or don't really look forward to post-game shows, depending on how this plays out, because I think I could be fighting with people no matter what, which may say more about me than it does them. But I think, like, if he throws 3 touchdowns and no interceptions in the first game, I think people are going to be crazy, going nuts positive, when I'm probably going to be like, can we wait till game 3? And vice versa. If he throws a couple picks, I don't think I'm going to be like, this guy can't play. Get him out of the league. Oh, my God, we blew the pick a couple years ago. But I think that is the week-to-week that Drake Maye is going to be living with and assessed on.